Bloomberg's Ed Ludlow caught up with Accel Partners' Philippe Botteri at the summit to discuss how Europe is shaping up for VC investors versus opportunities here in the United States.
If you look at the landscape in Europe, I mean, in the past 5 to 7 years, the progress has been really staggering. I mean, a few years ago, people were asking, can Europe generate $1 billion outcome? I mean, Europe has proven that it can generate $10 billion outcome, and we have seen it with gaming company Supercell, with Spotify, with Zalando. So I think there is no question today that Europe can generate big outcomes. So when we come here and we talk to other investors, we understand, discuss the different trends, what we're seeing on the market, and where we think the next wave of innovation is going to come from.
Any concerns about a bubble re-emerging?
Well, I mean, definitely we're in a frothy market, and there is a lot of money chasing growth, and I think it's a market where you have to be selective. But the innovation is such right now that I think this is really a time to look at where innovation is really.
More broadly, is there a mismatch in some cases in different sectors, areas between pre-IPO valuations and what the market is actually willing to pay for a business, especially here in Europe?
Well, I mean, the recent example of IPOs in the US have shown that sometimes the late stage rounds, can be priced at a higher than the IPO opening price. But the reality is that at Accel in venture we invest very early, so we invest many years before the IPO, so we're not really impacted by that.
Europe versus the US. A lot of talk here has been about European governments, Portugal, Estonia, incentivizing entrepreneurs. How are you seeing Europe grow? What kind of traction is Europe getting compared with the US?
Well, I think if you look at 10 years ago, the innovation in Europe was really happening in London and Tel Aviv in Israel, and these were the two main hubs. Today, what is really exciting about Europe is like we're seeing innovation around 12 different hubs. I mean, we're seeing Paris, growing pretty fast, Berlin, the Nordics. We're seeing interesting things in Spain, and now we're starting to see interesting companies like Talkdesk, for example, or Fitzeye, which are originating from Portugal.